Chuckles was officially revealed as the G.I. Joe Classified Series SDCC 2023 exclusive, and the 19K unlock for the Dragonfly HasLab was revealed. So join us as we learn more about the deep cover agent who's always dressed for Casual Friday and the final Dragonfly unlock right now on Toy Habits Live. And before we go live, smash that like button, turn on notifications, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss a beat. Hey everyone, welcome back to Toy Habits. I'm Michael.
And I'm the Toy Sorceress. And you're watching a special news break edition of Toy Habits Live. Or breaking news edition, sorry.
It's all good. It's Monday after a short work week, right?
Yeah. It takes time to get the brain running again. It's a Monday, totally. And there was a lot of news for a Monday.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of news for a Monday, which is actually great. And you reminded me that it is con season, so we have to expect this in July.
Yeah, absolutely. I think con season has officially begun today, because now we've been getting, the 12 days of fandom started this morning. And everyone's starting to reveal their SDCC exclusives. So it's like no holds barred anymore at this point.
No. And yeah, I mean, the community also keeps us on our toes with breaking news, since it is the work week and we have day jobs. So we really appreciate everybody who reaches out to us and lets us know what the news is if we don't catch it first.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a busy work day and a lot of news broke. So
yes.
Yeah, some exciting Joe news today.
Yes, we do. All right, let's we have a bunch of folks on the live stream, but just only a few of comments in the chat. If you want to sign off and say you're here in the chat, we would love to know who's on and who's watching.
Say hello. Yeah.
I
want to see who's out there.
We got Justin Thur Anderson, Leo Manzoni, Dan the Man JJ, and hang on, dude, I will give you a shout out in a second. We have Ryan, Jason, Damien, Skyfall, Bootcat, a punk with toys. He is checking in to say hi. What is up, my friend? We have Alias Angelalius. The Baroness of Toys. Fantastic.
The new Baroness.
Rachel Salinas, hello. Cesar 74, Death Seeker, and Michael Flores. What is happening, y'all? Very excited to be here and sharing this news with you today. We also have some late additions with Too Bad Dad, Shark 1178. We have Raul Roy, and we've said hello to Ryan. All right. I think we're caught up.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining in on this last minute live stream.
Yeah.
We were here yesterday.
Yes, we were. It wasn't that long ago, right?
Less than 24 hours. Oh, actually about 24 hours. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That was 4 o'clock yesterday.
That is true. And to kick things off, we always like to say hello to our ever-growing Toy Habits crew, and just wanted to give a special shout out to our newest crew members, Dan the Man JJ, aka Dan Diego, and Terrence St. John. We really appreciate the support that you give us, and we love the community.
Thank you to the entire crew. You guys are amazing. Such a fun group, and thank you for your support.
Yeah. All right. And so before we dive into the Chuckles discussion, I want to send a huge shout out to Dan the Man JJ, aka Dan Diego, who was Johnny on the spot this morning when the news broke and texted an article from IGN. Thank you, Dan. And this is also a reminder too that we break a bunch of stuff on the Toy Habits website a heck of a lot faster than we can jump on YouTube. So just make sure that you're checking there first. We try to cross-post in our YouTube community channel with breaking news and things like that, just to keep you updated, because sometimes we can't really jump onto YouTube during the week, but when we can, it's all good.
Exactly. Yeah. Toyhabits.com is your daily source for breaking toy news. reviews and all sorts of cool stuff. And obviously, we have all of the links for all those cool figures when you want to actually buy them. So we are the ones that dig them up, get them first, and then make sure you get your pre-orders in before things sell out. So make sure to check out toyhabits.com.
Yes. And just it's funny just looking. So since we posted this article this morning, there were some comments in our YouTube channel, and it's funny because people are split on Chuckles, which I think
Yeah.
is a sole purpose of an exclusive. Like I think an exclusive like this should split people.
Mhm.
Happy birthday, Roboto said, I'm not a collector of Joes, but Chuckles always stood out in my mind because of that Hawaiian shirt. I mean, they're fighting terrorists who want to end human freedom, and this guy is so laid back, he looks like he's going to a luau. And then Sci-Fi Tsunami, who was on yesterday, he says, makes me friggin' sick that the lamest characters like Bazooka, Nunchuck, Kamakura, and Chuckles get figures made, but there's still no signs of Sci-Fi, Blowtorch, or Charbroil. Just another reason why I hate Hasbro. So, yeah, not everybody's digging this one.
Yeah. Yeah, if I don't I think he's cool. His Hawaiian shirt's cool. I love surfing Hawaii and all that stuff. That's just totally into that. But if I don't get him, if he sells out, I don't know if that I'll be heartbroken, I guess to
Yeah.
say, because he's nice. I won't I'm not dying if I don't get this figure. It wasn't like Dr. Mindbender last year.
Yeah, it's funny because I was like, Chuckles.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. I thought you would be more gaga over it than me, and I was kind of like,
but like seeing this, I'm now like, I really want this now. So I am going a little bit gaga, just like
okay.
knowing that he's a name. Like from the name only reveal, all I had to go on was the vintage figure and his GI Joe movie cartoon appearance. So
That's
just a
awesome.
funny story on Chuckles. So he was first introduced in '86 in that GI Joe movie, along with the new
Mhm.
recruits, nicknamed the Rawhide. So he was
Yeah.
alongside Jinx, Tunnel Rat, Big Lob, and Law and Order. Um, so yeah, it's figure came out in '87,
Mhm.
and yeah, I mean he's basically dressed like he's on vacation.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna act a little bit like the fashion police right now and say that he looks way cooler in his other outfit from the G.I. Joe movie
I
with
know,
the
right?
white and yellow shirt and like the blue pants. I'm kind of digging him like that more than in his
Right.
traditional outfit.
Yeah, and it's funny for for an SDCC exclusive, like I'm thinking
Mhm.
they could have gone with like his
Yeah.
cartoon appearance, right?
Yeah, because then if they wanted to release him as like a mainline release, they could have just released him in his typical outfit.
Yes.
See? We think the same.
I know, right? It's like, come on, Hasbro marketing people, you can do better. It's like just
Absolutely. Hey, can we say hi to a couple more people who
yeah,
jumped on
of
just
course.
now? We got King Panther, we got Brennan Barnes, one of our awesome crew members in the house. Cooper McGillicuddy, another crew member, is here.
Gillicuddy.
Rachel Salinas is here. Neil Hill is also here. And Country Gentleman is on. Damian Ristori jumped on too. And All Music Fan 88. How's it going, All Music Fan?
All
Hi to
right.
everybody. Thanks for joining us. And we really appreciate you being here.
Yes. Um, Also interesting tidbit, on the decommissioned GI Joe Meet the Characters page, you can check out his bio and skills in more
Mhm.
detail on our website because we posted this image. But I think they've had Chuckles planned out for a long time now, and this site has
Mhm.
been out. Well, it was out and then they took it down. But
Yeah.
so we know his skills and ability and his bio already. So that's just some interesting stuff if you want to check out some more about
Uh-huh.
Chuckles on the website. But let's dive into the reveal today and let's first take a look at the box. So the
Yeah.
box art is interesting. It kind of reminds me of that Motu He-Man 4-pack.
Yeah, totally. Like they were trying to do some old school TV, with dials on it. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's all right. I don't know how much I'm digging like the black eye. Was that like a character trait of his that I'm not aware of?
That's a good question. I mean, it looks like he got beat up by the bats,
Yeah.
in that art that they have on the
Yeah.
inside.
But they bothered to give him an alternate head with the same look.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually really funny that he's
Yeah,
got a black eye for
I
a GI
know.
Joe figure.
I was like, that's kind of weird because they're supposed to be like really tough and not like take any crap.
Yeah, but one really interesting thing is that the box is teasing the
Mhm.
rumored Hasbro PulseCon Crimson Strike team, which is the
Yep.
Baroness and the Crimson Twins. So
Mhm.
we actually got this teased twice. There's one on the front of the box and then on the next one on the inside as well.
Absolutely. So they're coming.
Oh yeah,
It's just a matter of
yeah.
time. Yep.
Oh, most definitely. But yeah,
Mhm.
the out. So I'm assuming this is like the outer slipcover for the
Yeah.
box.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Either
and then
that, or do you think it might like kind of fold with like a little side panel and like a maybe a magnet or something like that?
and here
Yeah.
it
You
is.
see
Yep.
that because it's got like a little metal. It's got a little metal piece on the
Yep.
side, so it kind of like opens up like a book cover.
Yeah, really interesting way that they did this box art
Mhm.
because this is actually the first deluxe figure that we've seen or an exclusive that's in that windowless packaging too.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes, and
Totally.
here's that awesome black eye that you're referring
I would
to.
have actually really liked this artwork if he didn't have the black eye in the image. If he
Oh
had just
yeah.
like a cooler head. Like he looks kind of like a little too silly with it.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I kind of like that because if you remember, like G.I. Joe, wasn't always super serious in the
Mhm.
cartoons and all that. So, like, I'm actually digging that they're kind of going a little bit in a different direction with
Silly
this
with it.
one.
And
Yeah.
they can because it's a Comic-Con exclusive, so that's all good. A big shout out to our friend Ace over at Ramen Toys who just jumped on. Hi Ace, hope you're doing well. Good to see you in the chat.
I
Yeah,
love some of
so
these comments. He looks like Joey Lawrence on the bottom,
Johnny Lawrence
or Johnny Lawrence.
after Daniel kicked his ass like out of the scrimmage. It was right after the Cobra Kai All Valley tournament.
Yeah, there you go. And it's funny, the nerd alert is where's the armory he's supposed to come with. I guess this is his armory. It's just a bunch of accessories, but I thought he was just gonna come out with like a full weapons loadout.
So did I. And then it's like then he has like a freaking like Sony Walkman and like sunglasses and just like all sorts of little random accoutrement.
Yeah, totally. Uh, Cass is saying Hasbro is starting to emulate Mattel and put teasers on their box art. Yeah, they've been doing that with
Mhm.
a lot of their recent G.I. Joe classified
Yeah,
series figures, which is cool. And
I like
also,
that.
if you look super closely on the briefcase, you'll actually see the Baroness and the twins as well in
Oh
there
yeah,
too.
you're right. On the little screen
Yep.
because it's got a computer display. Mhm.
Yes.
Good eye, Michael.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it's funny because like Dan texted me this article from IGN this morning, and then he followed up with a couple other
Yeah,
close up shots. So
that's
he
awesome.
was helping me out there more than he knows.
I like the little like sketch image of the
Yeah,
coconut palm. That's pretty cool.
yeah, it's like Cobra is holding up secrets in the Coconut Palm Hotel, right?
It's like a back house for like their secret operations or something, like a front, like
Yeah, right. Um, Dan the Man, Dan Diego, are we getting the tomahawk? Because you can see a helicopter in the background too. So I don't know.
Mhm.
That's going to be huge if it's a classified series scale.
Yeah, absolutely. Um,
And plus, we have another helicopter coming as well.
I hope not. There's no room for him. We're just going to take this moment for a little PSA for everybody. Public service announcement. Um, you know, from Ramen Toy here. Help us spread the word that the Red Gullwing is delayed until the end of July as we fix some issues with the production discovered during assembly and QC. Thank you, Ramen Toy. And knowing is half the battle.
Oh, totally. Yeah, thank you, Ace. And yeah,
Mhm.
I pre-ordered the Gull Wing, so looking forward to that. But it's funny. My wife used to work for Namco Bandai, and she was in marketing, so she was
Mhm.
responsible for these box and art designs. And she
Oh,
actually had to
nice.
stop the press once because she
Wow.
noticed one little small error in some legalese that was on there that would have
Oh
got
my
them
gosh.
in very big trouble. So yeah, you got
Oh
to
wow.
fix that stuff.
Did she actually go and yell, "Stop the presses! Stop the
Probably
presses!"
not. That'd be funny.
That would have been cool.
Oh, interesting. So King Panther says, Michael, I feel like this has been produced for a while. Look at the legs; they have pins, and the majority of classified figures are pinless. I want Toy World with 0 pins on all my figures. That's an interesting detail
Yeah.
that he picked up
Yeah.
on there.
Well, it's really interesting because probably to get this out for SDCC, because it's, probably going to ship rather soon. It's a reuse of an old buck, and he has
Hmm.
a pretty simple buck. He's just got, like green pants and a shirt. So I think the easiest way for them to get this done was just to use the old buck.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's funny because in his original design in
Mhm.
'87, it was actually an original mold. They didn't use any reuse of anything. So it's just
Yeah,
interesting that
it
they're
is
doing it.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can see it on him that there's
Yeah.
nothing totally unique about him. And I just want to give a big shout out to our friend Ken from Toy Connections, which is online. And Ken, keep your eyes on the road, but listen to our stream and watch it when you get back. Good to see you in the chat.
Yes, Toy Hunters Hollow is also in the chat. What is up, my friend? Yes, and that is a Coast Guard helicopter. So I
Hmm.
don't I don't think they'll do 2 back-to-back helicopters.
Yeah.
But all right, let's take a look at the figure itself, and they really stayed true to the vintage design. Like
Hmm.
they had to do
Yep.
something to jazz the figure up, and I really like all the accessories and what they did here.
Yeah, I think he looks pretty cool. I mean, I was kind of stoked about the little Sony Walkman with like the orange headphones, like with the foam, because that looks like totally 80s. So
Yeah,
that was kind of cool. I like that touch.
yeah. It's awesome. It's funny because that little cassette tape looks, or like that Walkman looks a lot like Soundwave.
Yeah, I know, right? That's
So
hilarious.
funny.
Well, they're both from Hasbro.
That's true.
Go figure.
That's true. But yeah, all the accessories are cool. The handcuffs, like the knife is a nod to his vintage figure. He did have a
Mhm.
knife on his leg. You just
Yeah,
can't be walking around with a single pistol
that's so true.
on
I like
vacation.
I like his shiny gold watch. He looks very
Yes.
like pimping it, right? Like,
Yeah, and the sunglasses and like
hmm,
the whole nine with this. I think like a figure like this for an exclusive, kind of like they did with the Zartan PulseCon exclusive. He just came packed with a whole bunch of stuff.
yeah, yeah. I'll probably pick him up. Probably won't display him with the black eye, but again, if I don't get him, I'm not going to be totally heartbroken. But he's cool.
Yeah.
He was cool.
Yeah. I think I might display him with the black eye just because
We're
it's just
so
so,
like opposite when it comes to that.
it's so
I'm like
goofy. And
so
he's also
classic, and you're
missing a
so like
tooth.
deep cut.
So funny. He's also missing a tooth too in his
Yeah, I
mouth.
know that kind of bugs me also.
Oh, does it? Do you want to color it in with whiteout?
I probably would. White paint.
But let's see. Tall boots are the only drawback from me. Yeah, he kind of looks like he's got like military issued boots. So I think there's where they did some deviation. And I guess from what you were saying, if they're reusing an old
Mhm.
buck, then
Yep,
that would be the case.
that's absolutely what they did. You can see those are like standard issue Joe legs from some of the older figures. So
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, so this is what we got, and I don't know, do mint and box collectors, do you display like this box art? I've always wondered because they put so
Hmm.
much time and energy into making these boxes so cool.
Yeah.
I just usually just throw them out.
Well, yeah. When we're running out of space, we like to open our figures. We're not going to display the box, so most of the time we throw them out. For these exclusives, though, Michael, I try and keep them, and sometimes I nest them inside each other to consolidate space.
Yeah.
And then eventually, after I get over it and I forget that I have it, I'll probably throw it out in a year or two.
So, but I'm with Neil. The whimsical approach is an odd choice, but definitely a
It is
fun
fun.
one.
Hmm.
I like it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
I like that it's not that same, kind of fold up box that they did for both Serpentor and Dr. Mindbender. Because those
Yeah.
were, I mean, they were neat, but they were like almost exactly the same,
Hmm.
like in essence, which it made sense because like one was, Dr. Mindbender's lab and then Serpentor was his experiment. So that was fine.
Yeah. And this is another name only reveal that went straight from name only to figure design.
Yeah, yeah.
So they skipped the digital
Yeah.
render for Chuckles, which I think makes sense because you pretty much know what you're getting there.
Well, he was supposed to be an SDCC surprise, right? So
Right.
there you go.
Yeah. Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
So we have some other breaking news today. So we finally got the last unlock tier, which is tier 4 for the Dragonfly HasLab. And just wanted to give a special shout out to Daniel Ellis, who was also Johnny on the spot for alerting us to the news. But we got the Night Force Crazylegs as the
Mhm.
unlock for the 19K HasLab tier.
Yeah. Um, I think this is a really cool figure. I think it goes along with the rest of the like flight suit figures that are coming with the set, obviously besides Wild Bill because he's got sort of his own style. But it makes sense with the other two unlocked tiers that we got with Night Force Ripcord and
Yeah.
Glenda. So this is very cool, and it still holds a spot for Bomber Jacket Hawk to come out in the main line, which I hope it's Bomber Jacket Hawk.
Yeah. Yeah, I think people would have rioted if they released a Bomber Jacket Hawk as part of this HasLab. So
Yeah, I know, but it would have made the numbers skyrocket too.
probably.
Uh,
Uh, but yeah, I think Night Force Crazylegs is my favorite version of Crazylegs. And
mhm.
I don't know, like it's going to be an uphill battle for that 19K mark.
Yeah.
So question for the chat: is this figure enough to put you over? And while they're answering that and formulating their thoughts, Toy
Mhm.
Sorceress, what do you think? Is Night Force Crazylegs going to be enough?
Okay, so this was announced, I want to say probably 3 hours ago, right?
Yeah.
Roughly. And before this was announced, the HasLab was about at 15,050 backers. So it's at now 15,297. It's gone up 250 backers in 3 hours, which is a lot faster than it's been going the last couple days. But I don't see it being a huge enthusiastic spike in the number for this coming out. But some people are still coming back from work. Some people still haven't seen that this has been announced.
Yep.
Um, he is cool. I don't know if he's going to get us over the top. Let's
Yeah.
see what the Baroness has to say. Crazylegs is cool, but the colors look too much like Ripcord. She has a Baroness. You have a great point, and I don't think it's going to be cause the numbers to move that much. I mean, it is true he does look a lot like Ripcord. Obviously, he's got his other goggles and his special look, and he does have kind of a quilted looking flight suit, which is different than Ripcord's. But they're both in like dark suits with kind of the gray or
Yep.
the green webbing. So, what do you think, Michael?
Quilted like Northern.
Quilted,
I don't
softly quilted northern,
yeah, for that down
exquisitely
there
soft
care.
down there care. Oh my god! Now I'm gonna think of toilet paper when I look at him.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, it's all good.
So, like, I agree with the Baroness and what you were saying as well. Like, it looks too much like Ripcord. I mean, it's the
Mhm.
Night Force characters all have a similar look. They're all black, sometimes gray. Like Tunnel Rat was a
Yeah.
deviation, but yeah. I mean, should they have done maybe the regular version of Crazylegs for this one, or
Yes.
oh, you know what? They're probably saving that for a standard release, so I'll back
They
off on that
probably
one.
are. But but they could have released his standard edition here to get people really excited and then just did his Night Force version for a Walmart exclusive because they're doing the Night Force figures.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Right.
That is true. There was
Mhm.
actually a couple uh comments actually before the live stream happened, so I just wanted to circle back from those. If you are still on, Crazy Legs woohoo if it'll happen. Yeah, I'm kind of with him. I don't, I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to make 19. Leo Manzoni, nice
Mhm.
helicopter, but that's about it. The figures are plain, almost boring. We got to vote on a figure color, and Cobra Commander makes the His
Mhm.
Tank a better project. Maybe I'm just a
Yeah.
Cobra fan. Actually, he makes a really good point. Like they
Yeah,
they introduced some really fun things in the
they
marketing
did.
campaign, and this
They
has just
did.
been figure reveals.
I know. I feel like they've just kind of been like, okay. here's what's next, and they haven't engaged the fandom as much as they did during the his HasLab campaign.
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
think
it's
I think they did a great job with the marketing of this,
hmm
but I think
yeah.
they needed to spice up the unlocks a little bit.
Absolutely, absolutely. Or I mean, maybe not even make him a nice force version. Maybe not make him his traditional colors. They could have done something else to make him a special edition or something to go with the Dragonfly, to go with Wild Bill. I don't know. Not that his Night Force colors aren't cool, because they are, but because this is a HasLab and this is the last tier. The last tier had to like knock it out of the park. It had to like pull your
Yeah.
nostalgia strings and be like, I absolutely need this figure. And now I know I got to back this thing. That's what the last tier should have done. And if
Yes.
we're all reacting this way and we all love G.I. Joe, I don't know if it was the right pick for them.
That's a good point. Like,
Mhm.
this is gonna save me from a lot of money just from buying the Night Force figures, the vintage
Mhm.
ones, because I've
Yeah.
bought them and resold them so many times and I don't
Yeah.
have them anymore. But yeah, I agree with you. Like they needed to come out with something huge for the 19K
Yeah.
unlock.
Yeah. And especially when they know, like, we've been all waiting on bated breath for so long
Yeah.
to find out what it is, and they waited till the last week. So we had 7 days left.
Yeah.
Literally 7 days and 4 hours and 4 minutes. 744. uh, to to show us this. And he's cool. I like
Yeah.
Crazy Legs, but his colors are a little too muted and way too close. The Bearsness had a great point. Way too close to Ripcord. And you want some like variation in your display with these
Yeah.
figures, and they're going to kind of blend in.
That's true. Yeah.
Glenda's going to look nice because she's got the blue flight suit with the white.
Yeah.
So they should have had one more figure that was quite distinctive.
Yes. Gonna circle back to the chat. Great question by Leon Jarmo. Why does an attack chopper need two parachutists? Like, who's gonna fly it, right?
That's true. There's only two seats. Unless they all jump out and then the thing goes flying by itself.
Right. Yes. Yeah, his tank was a better promotion.
Mhm.
Let's see. Yeah, I think the classified team is learning from the past.
Yeah.
And I think their offerings are getting better, but I still think like the marketing of it and just the hype on it
Mhm.
could have been done a little differently.
Yeah, absolutely. Punk with Toys makes a really great point. And by the way, if you haven't seen his YouTube channel, make sure to tune in. He's got a great channel. He does some awesome Joe reviews. So shout out to you at Punk with Toys. And he's thinking that the spike will only last 2 days,
Hmm.
and he really doubts that it'll hit 19,000. I agree with you. I don't think that we're going to get there. We are going to crawl over the finish line to get Glenda. We'll get Glenda, but I don't think we're going to go very much far after that.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Mhm.
like ketchup and mustard, right?
Yeah, exactly. Which is
Forever.
a bummer because I would have liked to get him,
Yeah,
you know? Even if
it's
he's kind of muted, I still would have wanted to get him.
yeah. Yeah, it's funny because it's like we have the Cobra flight crew, but no crew for the Joes.
I know, right?
It's like it
They're
was
like,
their
"Oh, they could
HasLab.
do without." Like Cobra's got like so many little like, all those crew members like helping out and like a bunch of troopers and all this stuff, and the Joes are like, "Well, two guys. Okay, you guys come help us."
Right.
There ain't much there.
Just want to say what's up to Payne's Toy Samples, who also has a YouTube channel as well. He is one of our
Mhm.
crew members, and he also says that he is really happy with the choice. I'm happy with the
Yeah,
choice. I mean, I
me
backed it
too.
already, but I just don't think it is going to be enough.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's really cool and I like him and I absolutely want to get him. I just don't know that it was something that was going to fire up enough fans to get us to the 19K. Brennan Barnes, another one of our wonderful crew members, says if people had their his tanks in hand, they'd also be a lot more encouraged to back the Snacks project. Brennan, you're absolutely right.
Mm,
What do you think, Michael? If we could see what that HasLab
yeah.
product was. I mean, we did get a Sky Striker, but this is classified scale and an absolutely different amount of detail.
Yeah, I agree. I think if people had this in hand and
Mhm.
they can envision, the battle between a
Yeah.
dragonfly and a hiss a heck of a lot better, and you have all those figures too that came with the hiss, then I think
Yeah,
so. I think it'll be a different story.
I
What do you think?
know. I totally agree. I totally agree. Plus to see like the quality, the paint apps, the electronics that come in it, all of that would get you so excited for the next HasLab. And yes, rest in peace, ketchup and mustard. We miss you. We wish you were here. Yeah,
But
yeah.
let's see who else. I'm just scanning through the chat. Oh yeah, there was one person who was saying that. Oh yeah, this didn't excite me enough to buy a second one. So I think you know
Mhm.
I backed
Yeah.
5 Sky Strikers the last
I
time.
know you did.
I'm actually only backing one.
Me
Um,
too.
so I think if they would have come out with a retro carded figure in this
Yep.
assortment, I probably would have bought 2 because I want to
Yeah.
keep those on card. So
Well, that was the brilliant move on the Sky Striker. A, to have the Cobra takeover, and B, you automatically got 3 more amazing carded O-ring figures, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, I want to open those because they're so cool. They've
yeah,
never been made." But except for Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander, which we can't all afford to have, and I want
right,
to have a second set closed. So everybody bought at least 2 Sky Strikers. I did. I know that for sure. And then I sold off the second plane. Or brilliantly enough, the GI Joe team said, "Hey, if you want to keep both planes, here's a second set of stickers,
yeah,
decals, so you can make one Cobra and one GI Joe." Brilliant. This Dragonfly is a really cool project, but I haven't seen any of that spark of genius in the marketing campaign for it.
yeah,
I haven't yet.
I agree.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think a Punk with Toys was saying like it's not going to hit 19K easily, but
Oh.
actually we have
Oh
to.
yeah, yeah. I was agreeing with them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We can't forget that like this thing is funded, it's going to be made. It's just now it's just a point of are we going to get these 2 additional figures? And so
Mhm.
like I think if we do and if it hits 19K, like this is what we're looking at for the basically for the entire Dragonfly HasLab, which is a
Yeah.
fantastic offering just in and of itself.
Oh, I know. It is an incredible offering because we're going to get 4 figures and an awesome helicopter with electronics, with an amazing paint job, with all of those blast effects and extra gear that you get with it. I mean, it's with a wench, all of those things. You could now we need
With a
Lifeline. Maybe if they
wench.
had Lifeline in there, because you could go and rescue your Joes. That would have been really cool. Like
Yes.
that could have been an awesome last tier. Andy would have been red and white. So like the display value of having that figure on there, that's a home run,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and you actually bring up an interesting point. Like you're thinking about like the characters that would make sense to come
Mhm.
with a dragonfly, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like it's that world building and that
Mhm.
imagination that we had of when we were kids. And it's like
Yeah.
that would be amazing if they released Lifeline as part of this.
And could you imagine if he came with his what's it, the stretcher and all that kind of stuff? He has his medical bag, and I know Doc has a
Yeah.
stretcher, but this would have been cool to have a stretcher with Lifeline or Doc, and then they could have rescued your Joes, and you could have hung it from the ceiling with the little thing coming down it, or maybe one of those little stretcher baskets, that come down off a helicopter for rescues. I mean, something cool like that, right?
Oh
That would have
yeah,
been awesome.
that would have been neat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's missing those little extras possibly,
Hmm.
that came
Hmm.
with the Sky Striker.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
funny because like I always thought they would make something for the Hiss tank because they were just pitching that tow hitch, like
Yeah.
till there's no, it's like it's got a tow hitch. It's like
Yeah.
okay, there's nothing to put it on,
There's nothing to connect to it. So, I
right?
mean, I don't know if they're waiting for maybe an add-on thing or something like that, but, the Baroness's Toys says, feels like the Hasbro Joe team is on cruise control and phoning it in because the project funded so early. They haven't engaged the fans as much since it funded. And she's right. I mean, we had
Yeah,
like one check-in when Glenda was announced, and that was it. And Baroness, you're a wonderful crew member. Thank you for supporting the channel. She makes an absolutely great point because I feel like we had a lot more engagement during both the His Tank campaign and the Sky Striker campaign.
yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's funny because like for us trying to cover this, it's
Mhm.
like it's exciting for us, like
Yeah.
for the Sky Striker and the Hiss tank. those were totally two different like stories
Yes.
compared to the Dragonfly. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, great. They released another figure. Great, another figure. I'm like, okay, where's the excitement here?
I know. I feel like when we were covering the His Tank, there was like news like every couple of days, and like
Yes.
all this stuff was happening. Like there was a lot more action and excitement around the campaign itself.
Yeah.
And and of course, letting people pick the tactician colors and that kind of stuff. All of that kind of helped keep the buzz going for it. And it's
Yeah.
like this has been on cruise control since almost day one, right? We kind of been phoning it in, as the Baroness says.
Yeah. Chubby
Even us
Teddy
as Toy
Monster
Tubers.
Productions. So happy that you can catch us live. I love your YouTube ID, by the way. It's awesome.
Chubby Teddy Bear Monster Productions. That's great. I love that.
Um, Question from Daniel Duquette. Do you think Hasbro would shrink the tier goal for the final days from 19K or 18 or 17? What do you think?
I don't know. That's a really good question because they need to make a certain dollar amount on this.
Yeah.
And if they're able to sell more, HasLab projects, then they can afford to include more figures with it. So I doubt it. I doubt it unless it's a smaller vehicle that would not cost as much in production, then they can reduce the stretch goals. Also want to thank Daniel Hearn for his $2 super chat. Daniel, you are incredible. Thank you for being a supporter of the channel. And he says tactical battle platform for the win. Yes, that's
Yeah.
what we need.
It's
Things like
funny
that.
because he Daniel's funny. He made a comment around, I think, he made a comment in reply to the article that we posted. It was the tactical battle platform and Zorana in a bikini. Like I think that would have put people over.
Anything with Zorana will make
Right.
Daniel happy, especially in
But
a bikini.
yeah, can you imagine like a tactical battle platform in this scale? No.
Oh my god, I know, right? That would be cool.
That would be funny, but,
Oh
thank you so
man.
much, Daniel. It's so funny because I'm looking at comments that are
Mhm.
before that, and I was like, "Oh, that's so nice."
Yeah, I know. Daniel's awesome. We love
Yes.
him. Great crew member.
Um, yeah, but I mean, either way, if it ends with, just us getting
Mhm.
crazy, Night Force Ripcord, um, Glenda's a possibility, so I think,
I
like
think Glenda will squeak through. I don't know if we'll get to Crazylegs.
yeah, it'd be fun is to do a live stream on the last day.
Yeah, I know,
The
right?
last night.
We absolutely should do that.
That'd be
When
fun.
is that? It's in 7 days. It ends on July 18th, which is just before the day before preview night of
Oh,
SDCC. So
right.
that's Tuesday.
They timed
We
that
could do
one
that.
really well then.
We could do that after work.
Yeah,
Why not?
I'm sure we can.
Let's just plan
I
it.
know because we're gonna be texting each other about the Dragonfly anyway that day.
Yeah. Yeah. So we might as well just like get it all out and talk about it with all our good friends here in the chat.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, I think Dan the Man JJ said it earlier when he was
Mhm.
like, it's a really good offering for what they have now, and it's like we can always
Yeah.
think of more stuff or different stuff that they could do. But I'm actually really happy with the assortment.
Yeah.
Even if it just goes to Glenda, that's cool. They still have a design for Crazylegs, so I'm sure we'll be
Mhm.
getting him in the future, just maybe just in his regular form, or like you said
Yeah.
earlier, as a Walmart exclusive.
Yeah. I think that they could still release him. Either way, for the price of the Dragonfly, I think this is a really good value for what you're getting. 275, you're getting an incredible helicopter with all those electronics, all the blast effects and everything. And then Wild Bill by himself is such an amazing figure, and the
Yeah,
detail that they put on him and the fact that you're not going to be able to get him anywhere else.
right.
I mean, come on, you need that six shooter, his little belt, like the hat on him. I think he looks great. He absolutely looks great. They knocked him out of the park.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I mean, I'll be happy either way. But we're here to also analyze the whole campaign and what they could have done to excite the fandom. Uh, and they probably should have done something a little bit more exciting for the last tier.
yeah,
And I'm not knocking it because I think Crazy Legs is really cool. But we just needed more of a home run at this point when the campaign's struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. It's slowed down. So
Yeah, yeah, definitely hear you on the slowdown. And yeah, I think with this, like Star Wars having two failed HasLabs, like the Marvel Legends team
mhm.
had a failed HasLab, like I don't think, like they don't want to set a precedent for
Yeah.
lowering any tier goals, because once they do that, it's like no holds barred from there.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it'll just give
That's
people a reason not to back it until the last day, and then they're like, oh,
totally.
they'll just lower it.
Totally. So I'm gonna get on my soapbox one more time
Do it.
because we got 7 days left. So if you're thinking about backing the Dragonfly and you haven't decided yet, well, now we know what the tier is. But I think at this point, since it's out, the cat's out of the bag. Let's try and get to our goal, because if people don't see the numbers approaching the last tier, they may decide not to back it. Please back it now, and you can always cancel your backing on the
Yeah.
last day, or even I think they give you a day or two after the campaign ends. You won't be charged yet, but you always have till the end of the campaign to cancel your order, so you won't be charged till the campaign ends. So if you're just thinking about it, just go ahead and back it anyway. And then you may be excited and decide, hey, Crazylegs got unlocked and I do want to keep this thing. And
Yeah.
we're all like little small cogs in a big peg, right? And we all got to push slowly together, and we got to get to that 19,000 backer goal. So every little bit helps. And if we all see that it's getting to the end of the finish line, we can all get there together. And now I'll get off my soapbox.
I
Hey,
love it.
after I said that yesterday and we got off the stream, it went up like 20 backers.
See,
So
there
some
you
people are
go.
listening.
You just have to do so many live streams to get it over to 19K.
I
So
know, right? It makes sense though. You're not going to get charged until the end of the campaign, so you
right.
might as well help it get there. And if maybe getting that last year is your decisive point, if you get the numbers up, we may be closer to doing that. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Toya Bounty Hunter makes an interesting point. Just a reminder, if unlock, it stays unlocked even if the number drops below the threshold. The Sky Striker dropped below 16K due to cancellations, but we still got Night Force
Mhm.
Ripcord. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. maybe like the fandom all together can get us to Crazylegs and keep them unlocked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Sweet. Anything else that you want to cover off on before we sign off?
Oh well, we have the 12 days of fandom going on
Oh, right.
mattelcreations.com. We are covering it on toyhabits.com. So make sure to go ahead and check out our website every day. we will be covering it. And we've got the article right here. So every day, the 12 days of fandom will be updating this and showing you what each of the day's reveals are. Today, it was a wrestling set with Muhammad Ali. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. It's his boxing and WrestleMania referee outfit here with a Hulk Hogan and Rowdy Piper in boxing gear. So just make sure you can come stay up to date on the 12 days of fandom. That's
Yeah, I
all I
can't
got.
wait. I can't wait for their Motu reveal. So we had a
Yes.
mega constructs or mega brand reveal last year
Mhm.
on Mattel Creations. So
Yeah.
hopefully they'll come out swinging like Muhammad
Yes.
Ali.
And there is something dropping on Mattel Creations, I believe, on the 21st. And I'm trying to check and see if that is Motu related.
It just says Mattel Creations
It
on
just
it.
says
So
Mattel Creations.
yeah.
Okay. So never mind, but we'll see what that is. Anyway, I think that's all I've got. And I don't know if you have anything else, Michael, before we sign off.
No, that's it. We just wanted to just spend some special time with everybody, just because we got some really cool updates from
Mhm.
the G.I. Joe Classified series. So
Yeah. Very cool. Well,
yeah,
if anything else exciting drops this week, maybe we'll pop back on. And if not, we will see you this weekend. And then next week, you know, Everything's gonna go crazy because we got San Diego Comic-Con
Oh,
coming up.
geez.
I know.
That's awesome. All right. Have a great rest of your night, everyone, and we will see you maybe sometime during the week.
See? Yeah.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, everybody.